And we welcome you back to Vilonia, Arkansas. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, glad to have you aboard here for Game 2 of this 5A West doubleheader. The Greenwood Bulldogs, Vilonia Eagles. Greenwood stops the bleeding of a 2-game conference skid as they beat Vilonia in Game 1 down here 10-2 on a nice outing from Austin Mitchell. Scattered 4 hits, 11 Ks, no walks, no earned runs. He was magnificent, the sophomore from Greenwood. The Bulldogs now 2-3 in conference and really need to keep making hay here in Game 2 and try to pull a sweep off here on the road since they were swept at home last week against Van Buren.
And that has to happen. I mean, you got to try to find some wins and be in that top group of teams.
Yep.
And win the games you're supposed to win. I believe this is one of them. And then I believe you got Siloam Springs next week. Is that correct?
At home, yes.
And then that'll be another one you need to sweep. And
yes.
that'll kind of even things up where you kind of control your own destiny then.
And then in 2 weeks from tonight, our next broadcast will be on the road. Our next radio broadcast, we'll have live stream for you between now and then. But our next radio broadcast will be in 2 weeks at Mountain Home. So we'll take the trek to North Arkansas and bring you the Dogs and the Bombers. So scheduling note, our next radio broadcast that will be combined with the live stream will be in 2 weeks on the 19th of April at Mountain Home, a 5A West battle. But next week, Siloam, I believe you're right, comes to Greenwood. And Keith, one thing I noticed here, I don't recall Greenwood doing this, but Vilonia has changed tops between games, and they go to the black tops with the white trousers. Greenwood stayed, obviously, in the navy and the gray trousers, so a couple of dark on dark. I don't know what kind of issue that might be, but you might see maybe an errant throw if you think your guy's somewhere. You have to kind of check out the pants. And
change your jersey, change your luck. You know, kind of recap, early in the season, Greenwood started off with Harbor, and Harbor's one of the top teams in the state overall. And then you beat Gravett, and then you play Springdale, Southside, and Fayetteville. All those back-to-back, they're all losses, but you face good pitching. They're a classification up. And, Greenwood took some beatings early from those upper-class teams, and we're just now getting to where we got our feet down and we're getting confident. We got a lot of younger guys, and everybody in Greenwood's very competitive. And, feelings got hurt, and I think Mercado's done a great job of refocusing them, especially after getting swept by Van Buren. And now, the task at hand is what's in front of you right now. It's not the game we just won. It's this next game. And then after this game, it'll be Siloam Springs, the first game. And, I don't think we're starting Aiden Kennan. It's the first time we played the series. And, we're going to look at somebody else at the helm and save Aiden for something else.
Vilonia is going to send a whole new lineup out there as Dawson Brown will pitch start tonight. A new catcher as well back there is number 15, Luke Wilson. He is not in the batting order. McCool is in left field again. Norman is the DH. Again, Justin Shaw is number 3, and he's at second base. Soup Ozier's over at first again.
Skaggs again being a guy that puts the ball in play. Let's see how he can start off for the Bulldogs.
And this is Brown. First pitch is just outside ball 1.
Start him off with a curveball, which is good for Skaggs to lay off. He's a first pitch hitter, loves that first pitch and be aggressive.
And the right-handed pitcher is some high cheese, and Skaggs swings and misses 1-1.
Probably should have laid off that one as well. Of course, we haven't seen this strike zone yet. Last zone was very generous.
Here comes the 1-1 as the lights come on here in Vilonia. And Skaggs laces this one to the 5-6 hole, backhanded by shortstop across the diamond, but not in time. Pulled a foot, and Skaggs legs out an infield single.
Yeah, that throws on line. It probably gets him, but because it brought him up the line, you see the first baseman's foot come off the bag, being a benefit for Skaggs and get Greenwood's first base runner of the game.
That's Brett Justice there at short. And here's Bryce Morgan in the 2-hole. They score that a hit, and they do. So an infield single for Skaggs. Like to see Greenwood continue with the momentum. You talked about it, Keith, with a 10-2 win. And I'd like to see them get on them early here and kind of get the Vilonia Daubers down.
And you need to. You got to put pressure on them. And if they see that they couldn't overcome the earlier deficit from the first game, then you think, they're still just kids that maybe that you can hold it this second game.
Morgan got one he could hit right there, but he fouls it back into the screen. 1-2. The sun has gone behind the shadows of their first base dugout complex. The lights are on here. The C-130 from Jacksonville Air Force Base flying over from Camp Robinson. So we've got all kinds of action here going on as we begin game 2 of this twin bill. A 1-1 count to Bryce Morgan.
Let's see. Skaggs take off here.
And he does not. The pitch is upstairs, 2-1.
Early, Coach got a little gun shy on base running and sending kids. And, at some point, especially against teams that don't have the arm behind the plate, we're going to take some chances, get guys in scoring position.
They throw over to no avail as Skaggs is back in easily. Ian McCubbins over at third base for the Eagles. And that's in there for a called strike to Morgan. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Morgan's thinking the same thing I am. That was close to that strike zone. That was a plethora off the plate.
And 2-2 now. Greenwood with a leadoff single from Skaggs. Top of the first here in game 2. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, glad to have you aboard. Dawson Brown swings and misses and strikes out Morgan.
High off speed. That off speed just hung, and Morgan did a good job of waiting and letting it get there, but it just never really broke down into his bat.
And here's Carnes coming in for the Bulldogs. He is in the 3-hole here in the game 2, over in right field this time. Mitchell will go to center. They throw over, and Skaggs is in there safely. Just barely got back. It was close. Skaggs will be in left field. Morgan's at second base. Holtz at first. Mitchell will play center. Wright's our DH. Adams at short. Strocher's our catcher. Saki's over at third and not batting. Here's the first one to Carnes. A curveball that was a late breaker and stayed upstairs across the zone, ball 1.
Yep.
Great eye.
Yeah, and the pitcher kind of stares at the umpire, then looks at the coach in the dugout like, well, where was that? Well, it was high. Mm-hmm. It came in high. Yep. I'll help.
One down here in the top of the first.
You see the right fielder still playing in that gap.
It's amazing, man. Carnes goes the other way. This one's going to tail away from that right fielder. He can't get to it. And it'll go to the fence. Skaggs on his horse. Carnes is going to go to second. It's a double for sure. They'll shut Skaggs down there. And we've got second and third and one out.
Hey, hit something hard. Let's go.
And Doc Holt now in the 4-hole. The Bulldogs are in business here. Nice little double from Carnes.
Well, and he just went with the ball. It's an outside pitch that he just drove that way. And he's only going to get stronger. Those balls are going to be hit harder and go further.
Here's Dawson Holt. Pitcher adjusts the stirrups. Everybody on the squad has the stirrups up high for Vilonia.
Got the knickers with the knicker pants.
Got Eagles in red cursive across the front, red numerals front and back. Like I said, they changed to black tops here in game 2. Continue to wear the white trousers up high with the red stirrups. Here's Doc Holt now. He'll stand in from the right side. A right-handed hurler is Dawson Brown, and the first one's a called strike. Dawson versus Dawson here.
And that's not him. He can't do anything with that pitch. Mm-hmm. I mean, that breaks. It's just perfectly placed on the outside part of the plate.
The 0-1 now to Holt. He's gaining confidence in the batter's box. A great game defensively for sure in game 1. That's upstairs. Good eye, 1-1. And obviously Dawson, huge shoes to fill. That got that last name of Holt. I mean, Peyton came through. Of course, Keith, you weren't no slouch either at baseball, so pressure on the middle child, and Dawson's starting to get into the field. I like it. Shaping up to be a good junior campaign for Doc Holt. Here's the 1-1. And that's in there for a called strike.
Get to the plate and get aggressive. Let's go.
He watched it through. We'll pause for a station break. I'm just kidding. 1-2 now.
I was about to say, you
I don't know what else he's waiting on. Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect pitch. Here's a 1-2 to Holt. And outside. He wanted to go get that one, but good job of staying off of it.
And it's not something that'll fool you. It'll do like it did with Morgan, and just it'll bore you to death.
Right. He could have fouled that one off. That would have been it, but he let it go by, thank goodness, way outside. And here's the 2-2. Runners at second and third, one out, and here's Holt waiting on it. Brown brings it. And swing and a miss. Just a little off speed or slow speed, and now it'll be up to Austin Mitchell, the Greenwood center fielder, who pitched a dandy in game one. I can't tell you enough.
Dawson's out in front of that, and
Yep.
which the bad part about it is you want to hit behind the runners and let it get deeper. So if you're out in front of it, you still maybe make contact with it, and he was so far out in front, he swung and missed.
First one's a little high to Mitchell, ball one. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Bulldogs with traffic on the base paths, but can't get anybody home yet. That's Skaggs over at first, singled. Carnes over at second to double. Skaggs is at third, rather, after Carnes' double. And the 1-0. Mitchell fouls this one back into the netting. Steve Rack one.
And, he's sneaky fast because he throws that slow curveball, and then he'll come in with you on that fastball, and it's just it messes with your timing. There's since, you want 8-9 miles an hour difference in your fastball, and this is well more than that.
From the stretch is Brown for Vilonia. The 1-1 to Austin Mitchell. In there for a called strike. What's look good. Enticing.
And that's what makes baseball so tough. Every curve is different from every pitcher. This one's different than the last pitcher we saw, and it has a little bit more break left to right.
And this one Mitchell got a good piece of. It's going to be fouled out of play up on the dugout. And we'll stay 1-2. Skaggs and Carnes will retreat.
The players, are going to have to do a good job on that curveball of letting it get deeper and hitting it to the right side.
And Mikado's going to get Mitchell down there, maybe telling him that's exactly what he's telling him.
I mean, he's got to look to that right side on that curveball.
1-2 the count. There's 2 outs. The right fielder is kind of shading back over into the right zip code.
Well, that last one got him honest. When Carnes hit it over his head to his right side, that kind of made him be a little bit more honest.
Here's the 1-2 to Austin Mitchell, Greenwood center fielder here in game 2. With 2 outs, top of the first. And swing and a miss. That ball was dropped. He'll have to throw down and complete the strikeout, and does so. Strikes out the side, does Dawson Brown. The Bulldogs had 2 hits. They left 2 base runners. There was no runs, no errors. Half inning in the books. Vilonia will come to bat, and they will get a chance to see Mr. Pettigrew. We'll talk about it after this break. Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog, 103.5. I was thinking.
You have a few walks against a good team, I get it. You may not be able to recover. I don't think we can't recover from this.
Right.
And again, I think the walks were the product of him not being able to see, and they fixed that.
Thank you. Well, we are back here in Vilonia. The lights are on here at the stadium. Lady Bulldogs, if you're wondering, lost 5-3 to Vilonia in game 1 of their twin bill just south of us here. So the Lady Bulldogs have lost 3 conference games in a row, swept by Van Buren last Tuesday. It's been a long time since they'd lost to Van Buren in softball. Coach Saki trying to rally the troops. Here's Jack Vines, their center fielder, will lead off for the Eagles.
I want to congratulate Dylan Strozier committing to South Ark Community College to play baseball. Anytime you can play baseball and keep being a kid and keep that game going, Dylan's done a great job. He's earned it, worked hard. Congratulations to Dylan.
Yeah, that's down in El Dorado. look forward to keeping an eye on him as he continues. And Pettigrew comes in. They call that a ball? Ball 1 to Vines. That was a pretty good pitch from Pettigrew, I thought. But we will try it again. This one's fouled up out of play 1-1.
Pettigrew trying to fill that spot of being the doubleheader starter pitcher. You know, they had Aiden pitching game 1, and then, of course, he had some vision problems, and hopefully he's corrected that.
Brady Pettigrew up on top. The righty-righty matchup just upstairs, 2-1. Jake Fawcett, Brett Justice for Vilonia here, 1, 2, and 3 in the bottom of the first. That one escaped Strozier, and it's low, 3-1. McCubbin, Brown, Osier, then Shaw, Norman, and McCool. And this is Jake Vines, their center fielder. And that's too low, and it's a leadoff walk. You wonder about McKinnon's availability. Well,
I know, talking to his dad, that they were just waiting on some contacts to come in because something had changed with the diameter of his eye, and it wouldn't fit, so he basically couldn't see. Astigmatism was bad. Well, he's got the contacts in. He can see, so it may just be something where he's got to earn back Ricardo's trust and, not walk people. But to me, this would be a good game to do that.
Here's Jake Fawcett now. He is their right fielder in game 2. A right-handed bat. Didn't play in the first game. And Pettigrew from the stretch checks on the runner. Greenwood doing a good job of taking that extra step you talked about, Keith. There's a fastball in there for a called strike.
Pettigrew, a sophomore. If you got your doubleheader and your 2 starting pitchers are 2 sophomores.
That's you gotta like where you're at. It'd be nice just get these. There's a hit and run, a liner out to left field, or right field rather. Carnes up with it. They try to go to third, and the ball was cut. Oh, I thought he was. Did it get cut? It did.
It did.
Oh, if Adams had let that go through, I think Carnes had him dead beat. I was fixing to say, just kind of watching it, sizing up the runner, that this is a great throw from Carnes, and Adams cut it.
He did a great job of getting rid of the ball. He went glove side, wheeled around, planted through the ball. It looked like it was on line, but we don't have the perspective. Maybe it was offline. I don't know.
Well, you'd like to hope that Saki was saying let it go over there if it was through, but nonetheless, it's first and third, nobody out. And Vilonia's in business here with Brett Justice, their shortstop. There's a nice little hit and run there called by their skipper. Called strike.
A lot of times you do it just to get them swinging the bat. And if you've got kids in the lineup that aren't swinging the bat, you may call it just to make him swing the bat.
Brad Wallace, their head coach. Pettigrew with 0-1 here. He's ahead of the shortstop. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Can he get out of this little jam here? It'd be nice to get a strikeout here. We've seen him climb the ladder some here in this situation. Saw Mitchell come up with some high cheese on Osier in game 1 on the 0-2. And here it comes from Pettigrew. Strozier goes way outside, and he did. He laces this one to left field. It's down. Up with it is Skaggs, and an RBI single, and the Eagles strike first here as they've strung together some hits. 3 in a row. No, I beg your pardon. 2 in a row. The first one was a walk. And that's a single and an RBI for Justice. We'll bring McCubbin up for Vilonia. Ian McCubbin.
Well, we talked last year. It's uncommon for a young pitcher in conference games to have the poise that Austin had. Well, to me, that's what made him so deadly tonight, is that he had that experience. Yep. He knows what it's like. He's been there. He's pitched in big situations. This is Pettigrew's first start. And although he looks like an older kid, he's still a sophomore.
That's right. And so here's Ian McCubbin. With runners at first and second, nobody out. Already one across for Vilonia. A right-handed bat. He's their third baseman. And here comes from Pettigrew. This ball's ripped to left. Skaggs came in a second, wanders to his right, makes the catch for out number 1.
That's good. Get a line drive out. I mean, you're getting hit hard, but as long as you can kind of minimize the damage, you're fine. They've only gotten one run. That's a good sign for Greenwood.
And number 7 is Dawson Brown.
The pitcher.
Yeah, he's their pitcher, so you sure don't want him to help himself out and gain more confidence after he got out of a jam in the top of the first. And Pettigrew will check on the runners up top and come home to the pitcher-pitcher matchup. Swing and a miss from Brown, strike 1.
Defense said outfield's not too deep. They're not. I mean, they're kind of mid. I guess probably the deepest is Skaggs and left.
Brown waits on it from Pettigrew. Strozier knocked that one down. They throw down. He is dead meat. Threw behind the runner and did not get back in time, and he is out down there as Fawcett was caught leaning, and he's picked off.
Well, he read down angle, but Strozier did such a good job of blocking it and keeping it within arm's reach that when he picked it up, we talked earlier how he hesitated. There was no hesitation that time. He threw a strike down there to Adams for the tag. So
now there's 2 down. Only a runner at first is Justice, and Pettigrew's feeling really good now. That one's in there for a called strike, and he's ahead 0-2 to Dawson Brown. What a shot from Strozier down to throw behind the runner and pick him off.
It's good timing after we give him the South Ark Community College plug.
That's right. A great defensive catcher has been no secret. There goes the runner. The ball's lifted in the air, and Mitchell draws a bead nicely coming in on it in center field and makes the catch, and Pettigrew gets out of unbelievable danger here in the bottom of the first. A walk and 2 singles. Only gave up 1 run. A nice pickoff throwing behind the runner at second from Strozier, and the damage has been minimal. 1-0 Eagles after 1 inning.
No, hey, we spotted them in the last game. You can't spot teams. You can't go into conference spotting. Everybody runs early, but hopefully that's something we'll learn from. But you're right. To minimize the damage and only give up 1 run, it could have been a lot worse. That's good. Now, we did this last game, and we answered, so that's what we need to do right here as we see Jay Wright step into the plate.
Yeah, and you talked about it, Pettigrew getting his first start here, and you know he's thinking, sweet mother, they're fixing to score 3 on me, and I'm going to get shelled here and get pulled, and who else we got to pitch, and what do we got going, and next thing you know, it's 1-0, and we're back in business here.
Well, the conference guys have been Aiden, Pettigrew, Carnes, and Mitchell, really. Those are the guys. Jay, I think, would be available. But again, I think, and he may be more available now that he's over here as a DH. He can at least prepare his arm and stuff. So Jay would probably be the other one. And
he came in, for Kennan in Game 1 against Van Buren last week and did a pretty decent job.
That's right. So, you've got those guys. You've got guys that can throw strikes. The key is playing good defense behind him. Don't give up the errors and don't walk people.
So it's going to be Jay Wright, Harrison Adams, and Dylan Strozier here in the 2nd inning. Tim Terry, Keith Oak, glad to have you aboard. The sun is completely gone. It's maybe in the eyes of some of the Bulldogs in the dugouts. Actually, the batter
right still in the batter's eye.
Has his eye in the sun as it peeks over the football stadium off to our left. This field facing southwest.
Number 10, Jay Wright.
So Jay Wright will stand in. They struck out the side in the first, scattered 2 hits, a double and a single. But the Bulldogs couldn't get anything going.
Well, we left people on base.
Yep.
We talked about, I guess, beggars can't be choosers. We're glad we're having people on base, but now we got to start knocking them in.
And here's Dawson Brown back to work for Vilonia. Kicks and fires, and Wright takes a home run hack at the first one. Strike 1.
That ball does look fat. I mean, it looks like it's coming up there, and it just breaks across your bat. If you pull out at all, you'll swing and miss.
0-1 count to the senior. DH here in game number 2. Right-handed batting Jay Wright. And a curveball got in there, locked him up. I thought it was going to hit him. He was going to wear it and be proud. And that ball broke in there nice.
Well, the last pitcher had more of a 12-6 break. If you look at a clock, it went from 12 to 6. And this one's breaking a cross.
Yep.
It's not a slider. He's kind of throwing it with the spin. It's spinning sideways, but it's breaking across the batter.
At 0-2, just got a piece of it, did Jay, and it goes to the backstop, foul ball. He'll live to see another pitch. A great at-bat early in game 1 in that 6th inning to really help the Bulldogs add on to a lead. And Jay Wright, the DH in game 2. And Dawson Brown up behind the glove for Vilonia. He'll kick and fire. This ball's up out of play to the right side into the. Is that the Panther pit over there? Is that their gymnasium? I guess it might be.
Well, the
Or
pitchers.
not, I beg your pardon. Good. I'm going to get killed for that. Panther. That's Greenbrier. That's the Eagles' nest.
Oh,
I
sorry.
said Panther pit. That's
I'd
Greenbrier.
like to welcome all the Vilonia people that are paying attention to us on the Sports Center.
Feel free
Thank you for joining us.
Torch me in the chat. That's my bad. I know how it is. I would hate to be called that. And that one's in there for a called strike. Throws up Jay Wright and a backwards K for out number 1. 4 outs, 4 strikeouts for Dawson Brown. Here is Harrison Adams, our shortstop.
And I don't know if it's by design or if he's getting lucky, but what he's doing is throwing the curveball away on the outside part of the plate. He's getting a ball or two, so when you're looking for that outside curveball, then he's coming high and inside on the fastball. And whether it's by design or not, he's doing a good job of keeping Greenwood off balance.
It says 70 now, but the wind's picking up and getting a little chilly as the sun sets. Get down to the probably mid-60s before we're out of here as Adams fouls that one off the light pole here in front of us. You heard it on the air. Strike 1. 1-0 Vilonia. Tim Terry, Keith Hope. We're in game 2 of this 5A West Twin Bill. The Bulldogs won game 1 10-2, really going away. It took them a second to get the lead. Once they did, they kept piling on. And it'd be nice to really need to get a sweep here on the road. But this Brown kid is showing to be effective here early on. Giving up some hits, but he's sure throwing some strikeouts. And 0-1 now to Harrison Adams. And that's outside.
Well, and they'll tell you it's not how you start, it's how you finish. You've seen really good. Razorbacks are known the last couple of years of starting off slow against teams and then having a great 5th, 6th, 7th inning, and 8th, 9th inning. And today they were getting beat by UCA. I doubt they still are, but you can't tell me that they're not going to come back, and I feel the same way about Greenwood today.
That's upstairs. 2-1.
7 innings is a long time.
And Little Rock was the same way against Arkansas last week. They got up on them early and ended up getting pounded.
That's right.
2-1 count to Harrison Adams. He's going to sit here and rope one. I got a feeling. Wind still coming out of the south, about 10 miles an hour. And swing and a miss. Boy, he took a home run hack. 2-2 now to the Greenwood shortstop, Harrison Adams. 1-0 Vilonia. Greenwood had 2 hits in the top of the first. Couldn't do anything with it. A double and a single. Or actually a single and a double. And now it's a 2-2 to Adams with nobody on the base path. Here it comes with 1 out. Tipped it and came right out of the glove. Maybe hit the home plate blue.
I bet you would that one back. It got a fastball right down the middle.
Loose ball back here.
Strozer's like, I'm the catcher. I never have to go get those balls, even when I'm batting.
I guess not. 2-2 to Harrison Adams. He digs in from the right side. Dawson Brown, hat brim pulled down for Vilonia. Working from the windup. Here it is. That ball's just pushed out of play right side over the dugout.
And that was probably his best swing at the bat to foul that pitch off.
Yep, it was a breaking ball that got in there on him late, and he just got a piece of it and took it right out of the glove of the catcher. He'll regroup here. Get ready to lace one this time. He's got him. 2-2 to Harrison Adams. And Brown brings it. And that ball's chopped foul to the Greenwood dugout and just passed it. Someone made a play. Nope, there it goes. Who'll go get it? Scampering Bulldog. Have we ran out of balls? Nope, we've got one thrown in from the other side. Stanville ran it down. The 2-2. That's in the 5-6 hole, just past the diving McCubbin, and it's a single for Harrison Adams. Fantastic at bat.
Well, that was the pitcher lost patience with that outside curveball and left it over the middle. He thought he could fool him, and the more swings that Harrison got, the better he became. Left that curveball over the middle of the plate, and he did what you're supposed to do with it. Hit it hard in that hole.
Well, Strozier didn't bat in game 1, but did marvelous behind the plate, and he'll get a chance to work at the dish today as Saki comes out on deck, and the blue wants the bat in the on-deck circle to get picked up, so we're ready now. I'd like to see Dylan catch fire at the plate. We know what he can do behind the dish. The senior, he can stroke it. He's due. Let's see here. The first one to him from Brown is in outside?
Yeah.
Someone asked. That's a great question.
Where was it? Was it outside?
It had to be outside.
The pitcher didn't like it as well.
It looked like a strike to me. The umpire in game one,
strike.
that would have been a no
Yes.
doubt strike.
Consistency. You want to make us happy? Just be consistent.
And
Whether
time is called by home plate blue, or actually granted to Strozier. 1 ball count. Good eye from Strozier. There's one down here in the top of the second. And they throw to first, and he's back safely. Is Adams. He comes up with a smile for Kramer's, the first base coach. Dawson Brown from the stretch. He'll come home. That one bounced in. Adams on the way to second as it got past the catcher, a wild pitch. And there's Strozier with an RBI chance now with 1 out.
Man, you can't take the lead if you don't tie it first.
Right. A 2-0 count, unless you hit a homer, I guess. With it.
Well, he still has to cross over and tie it first.
Okay, I got you. I'll give you that. That's true. Dawson Brown from the stretch. Comes set. Peeks back to Adams at second. Another look. And now kicks it home. Oh, a curveball in there for a called strike. Strozier was taken all the way at 2-0. And now he's ready to unload. Brown with the glove of the ball in the right hand, twirling it down there around his right thigh. Now comes set. A double look back. Now a triple look. And high heat. And Strozier hacked at it and fouls it back into the netting. The count's evened up at 2-2. And Saki with the nice cachet of baseballs over there. He's hoarding the foul balls.
He's collecting them, that's for sure.
2-2 to the catcher, position number 2. Number 2, Dylan Strozier. Thank you. We're in the second inning. This one's hitting the air and slicing towards the right fielder. We'll see if we tag. It's caught. The tag is clean, and Adams will be in third base, no problem. So, second out. But now, maybe a Karam wild pitch, and Greenwood can tie this thing. Here's Aiden Saki.
That's how we did it in the first game. Got a guy on third, wild pitch, and sometimes that's all you need to get it started. Get off the schneid.
Saki, the third baseman. Had a hit in the game 1. And then Baxley pinch hit for him, and he got a hit as well. Bax came around and scored a run. 10-2 win in game 1. And here's Saki trying to extend the at-bat in the top of the second. Digs in from the right side. Brown comes home with it. And that's high heat. And Saki got out of the way. I don't blame him.
I know. He's got guys leaning over the plate looking for that off speed and then brings you up and in on a fastball.
We have a staunch policy of wearing a ball.
You cannot move out of the way.
But you can sure turn a shoulder and look for that spine. Curveball got in there. Did it?
Up.
Stayed up. We've seen so far that this home plate blue strike zone's more of a, I think, what we're kind of used to. That guy in game 1 was giving some wild, way off the plate stuff. Here's the 2-0 to Saki. And Aiden waiting on it. There it is.
Oh,
that's in there for a called strike. Well, that's one you need to pull the trigger on. Just PHAT fat waiting on him. 2-1 now. Still hitters count. And Dawson Brown comes set from the stretch. Runner at third gets the lead for Greenwood, and that's outside 3-1. Saki trying to work hard to get back to the top of the order. It's one way or another. 2 outs here in the top of the second.
Sometimes we just need that big hit to get started. It gets everybody fired up.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of times the guys are over there faking their enthusiasms.
Right.
And a lot of times you can't fake real enthusiasm.
Enthusiasms.
That's right.
Enthusiasms. And Saki just got a piece and fouled it back. That's some untouchables there. It's full count now, 3-2. That's some Al Capone. Enthusiasms. Full count with 2 outs. The sun is completely swallowed up now by the horizon, so no one worried about the sun. I'm sure that Joe Buffkin's happy about that, running the camera off to my left. Full count to Saki. Here we go. It's upstairs, and he walked in. Great at-bat from Aiden Saki.
You get back to Skaggs, who's been putting the ball in play hard, and you're right where you want to be with runners on base, 2 outs.
Hogs at the corner. Skaggs up. He's singled to start the ball game off in the top of the first.
Number 6, Braden Skaggs.
A 1-1 pitch that he sent to the left side. Mikado runs through the signs. With 2 outs here in the top of the second, Greenwood down 1-0. And you talked earlier, Keith, we answered the call in the second inning in game 1 as they scored in the first. Let's see if we can get it here. Let's go wild pitch. Good speed from Adams over there. And that one's fisted to the first base dugout, foul ball. Right off the thumbs of Skaggs.
He likes to be aggressive, and that's good. It's going to bode him well as a baseball player. You can never get to strike 3 if you never get to strike 2.
Yep. Here's the 0-1. That's just a fountain of knowledge right there. I mean, it's just unbelievable. 2 down. And Skaggs trying to get this game tied. Here's the 0-1. Upstairs. Good eye.
You got to simplify it and say, well, why am I striking out? Well, you're letting pitches go early. Skaggs will not do that. Skaggs will be aggressive. We talked sometimes he won't put it in play hard because maybe he should be a little bit more selective. But, at the end of the year, he'll probably have the fewest strikeouts because he's more aggressive early in the count.
1-1 the count. Here it is. And that one's a little looper. It's going to get down, and everybody's on the run, and the game is tied. A little blooper into left field, and Skaggs with RBI.
That's a broken bat single.
That's right. Adams comes in to score. Saki moved up to second. And Skaggs at first base with an RBI single. And there's still 2 down. Here's Bryce Morgan. Just what the doctor ordered.
Yep, Morgan's due as well.
That's right. Struck out his first time up. We got 2 outs. Dawson Brown up on the bump for Vilonia from the stretch. Twirls the ball on that right thigh, now comes set, and time is asked for by Morgan. Granted by home plate blue.
Will high school go to the pitch clock?
No.
I don't think they need to. I don't think there's a big need for.
There's not a need in college, I don't think. That curveball missed outside. I don't think. Everybody I see works pretty fast.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course, they're going to go to the stupid shot clock in basketball, so there goes that fun. 1 ball count to Morgan. Skaggs a lead at first. Saki out at second. They go throw, or at least pivot, and fake the throw to Saki back at second.
Steps on his shoelace, realized the shoe was untied.
Right. Carnes out on deck if Morgan can extend the at-bat here in the top of the second. 1-1. Bulldogs eerily similar to game 1 so far. Hopefully it ends up being exactly like it.
That's right.
Morgan waits for Dawson Brown's 1-0 pitch. The righty for Vilonia kicks and fires. In there for a called strike. 1-1. First and second for Greenwood here, top of the second. 2 down. Tied at 1. Here comes the 1-1 from Dawson Brown from Vilonia. And Morgan just laid on it, 1-2. Took a home run hack. That ball was in there for a strike.
You just got to be careful on that inside. He's been working him so far away. You start to get on those toes and lean, and you can see Morgan's up to that plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And high cheese. Morgan just could not lay off that juicy stuff. Well, the damage was done, though. 2 hits for Greenwood. They got a run across. They left 2 runners, however, and we played an inning and a half. 1-1. Let's take a timeout at Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. Greenwood, Vilonia in a 5A West battle, and one that Greenwood desperately needs to sweep as they won game 1, and would really behoove these Bulldogs as their postseason starts. I mean, I know it's early in conference season, but this is the 3rd series, the thing's starting to shape up. You can tell that Siloam's going to be to here, so we know where they're at. And now you just got to start jockeying for position. Heard anything else on the Sims kid from Russellville? Is he shut down? Do you know?
I haven't heard. I have not heard. But that changes that series for everybody else.
Well, it'll be Campbell Osier leading off for the Eagles. And, of course, he comes with the Nirvana walk-up music. Soup Osier, former member of the Mount Harmony Mafia, and now a senior here at Vilonia. 1-1's the score, and Pettigrew's back to work for Greenwood. The big right-handed sophomore comes home with it, and Osier hits this one a ton out to center. Mitchell's on his horse. He'll drift. Can he get to it in time? As it keeps tailing away, he does. The wind pushed that thing to right center. Good job from Austin Mitchell.
Yeah, that ball traveled along. Matter of fact, he passed up Carnes on his way to go catch that ball.
Right. And now it is Shaw, their second baseman. Justin Shaw. Right-handed bat. Don't remember seeing him in game one. There's one down here in the bottom of the second. First pitch swing, and this one's laced to right. Carnes on his horse, reaches out, snags that one. No problem for the freshman. F9, and that's the Bulldogs 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Got a lot of speed in the outfield. We talked about it before. They can cover some ground, but if that's Greenwood hitting the ball against Vilonia, that's a triple.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
the right fielder's over there in the gap. These games, I know we've had our errors, but our errors against Van Buren and stuff were just more egregious. It was a very unclean game. It was not fun to watch. This has been a pretty good game with these two teams.
And Keith, the Cardinals sin we saw there from Jake Norman, their DH, he was swinging first pitch, and we almost had our first 3-pitch, 3-out inning.
Yep, that's a steak dinner.
Yeah, but an 0-1 nonetheless. Swinging through, that strike called. As Pettigrew feels good now, rearing back, zinging it by. I tell you what, Jake Norman's mustache is in mid-season form here for their DH, lanky fella. But that stash is legit. Here's the 0-2. Strozier way outside. This was laced right back up the box. Adams made a stab at it. It goes to center field and a 2-out single for Norman.
What was the count?
It was 0-2.
Yeah, that's not the pitch you want 0-2. And that's a sophomore mistakes, and he's probably going to go tell him, say, look, you can't throw that pitch over the plate 0-2. Yep. That's a mistake you can't make. It can't be something. It's got to be something that if it starts in the zone, he goes way out of the zone. But you can't leave a pitch over the middle and give up a hit 0-2.
And Mikado just told Strozier, you got to go let him know. He did.
Because he's going to be here for 3 months, sophomore.
Yep.
Junior, senior. You got the rest of this year, and you're going to need him, so he's got to learn now.
2 outs, a man on the 2-out single, and this is McCool now, their left fielder. And Pettigrew comes home, and that ball's a late swing, and it was a good pitch. McCool had to just hack it foul.
I believe the guy on first is the guy we picked off the last game that they ump called him safe because the ump had the bad angle. We had the good angle.
Right.
And he slid in. Dawson told me after the game, he said, it's a good thing I'm 6'5".
Right. This is Hunter McCool, number 11, a left-handed bat, a left fielder. Pettigrew taking a while. Now comes home. That's in there for a called strike. Good pitch.
Only thing he's got going for him now, he's got a lefty to where it's a little bit not as much room for Strozier to work back there to make a throw to first.
This is their 9-hole. McCool. And that one bounced in. Norman's on his way. Strozier threw down the ball, caromed away, and it will be scooped up by Morgan. 1-2.
Good read by the base runner. I mean, it would have taken a perfect throw, and I still don't think Strozier would have got him. He just got a great jump reading the down angle.
It carried him a pretty good ways away from Dillon, so he had to go find it. So 1-2 now for McCool. And Pettigrew brings it home. That one stayed upstairs. 2-2. Hunter McCool.
He hit his spot. He's telling him he wanted a high fastball, and now he'd look for something off speed, either down and in or down and away for off speed.
2-2. What you gonna do? 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Pettigrew checks the runner, and now he'll come home with it. That's just low. 3-2. as the Vilonia dugout starts to bark a bit. Coach Wallace giving some instructions over there from the dugout. 3-2 the count. Payoff pitch, runner at second is Norman. Pettigrew takes a long time, comes home with it, and a curveball is hitting the air. Adams drifts onto the grass, finally sizes it up, and makes the catch for out number 3. Well,
it got interesting. It was 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Yep.
0-2 hit up the middle. And then what was the count before he went 3-2? Was it 1-2? And then went 3-2?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, he did great.
Yep.
We just should have been over a little quicker.
Yep. We'll take it. We played 2 innings here. Greenwood 1, Vilonia 1. 5A West action on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5.
Now you got a director directing which camera and where to go and what to do, and it's great. They do great. They don't get enough thanks for what they do.
And so here is the Bulldogs. Here are the Bulldogs, and that is Mr. Carnes to lead us off here. Batting in the 3-hole will be Carnes, Holt, and Mitchell in the 3rd. And the first pitch is a ball outside and bounces away from the catcher.
And that curveball, he's intentionally leaving it outside. It's been so hard for Greenwood hitters to hit. That was way, way outside.
1-1, top of the 3rd. Carnes, a right-handed bat. Dawson Brown still working for Vilonia. This one's fouled straight back. Carnes, one of those you'd like to have backers.
Yeah, that's one of the first times I've seen him get full to where he slowed his swing up and just kind of flailed at it. Usually he'll still take a hack at it. That one, he didn't.
Carnes,
he knows it, too.
Nice
He's smiling
grin,
big.
Yep. Just a great athlete. I mean, he was unstoppable in football in junior high, and they moved him up and had a nice run with the varsity squad this year. A workhorse in basketball. This one's hit
down.
up in the air, and it's going to be a foul ball, but we saw the right fielder, as we've talked about, no chance to get to one in foul ground where they're playing. Still a long strike, and it's 1-2 now to Grant Carnes.
Well, Carnes is responsible for moving the right fielder back over towards right field.
Right.
You know, it's one of those things you play with fire until you get burned. Well, they played with it, and he burned them. Now they've kind of moved back over to right field.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Carnes leading off here in the top of the 3rd. And Dawson Brown locked and loaded up top from the windup. And here it comes. And that's in there. Just stayed inside. It was inside. A breaking ball that sure looked close, but didn't break enough.
No, it didn't. Matter of fact, that was more, we talked about it breaking across. That was more of a 12-6 movement where it broke because of gravity.
Yeah.
Lack of speed.
Here's a 2-2 to Carnes. An even better take from Carnes, really. And that one's just outside and low, full count. 3-2.
That non-strike call was a product of body language from Vilonia pitcher, coaches, and everyone involved, because that's been a strike most of this game.
Full count now to Carnes. Let's see. I'd like to see him deposit one here into the cheap seats. High heat. Oh, it stayed fair. It spun back towards play, and this is going to be 3 bases for Carnes. That ball got wrapped up in the tarp. Oh, it's a shame. It came in behind the tarp.
Keep going until they tell you to stop.
And they're going to bring him back to second as it got him behind the tarp. It's in foul territory down there, down the right field line, and that's a shame. As Mikado's going to say, look, that was going to be a triple. No way.
Well, he's got to go look at it. The job of the umpire now is to go inspect it and make sure. Otherwise, everybody in right field would just do that, and you stop him at second.
Yes. And they're going to send him back, much to the chagrin of Coach Mikado. But it's a leadoff double nonetheless for Carnes.
And there should be a talking point in pregame with the coaches.
And I think it probably was. I saw them discussing before game one about the tarp being in play. And so, however, it's still tough because that was going to be an easy triple. Tarp or no tarp. So here's Doc Holt now in the cleanup spot. Struck out his first time up. I look for a better at-bat here from Holt. Just relax and take a good hack. Dawson Brown up on top for Vilonia, the right-hander. And Dawson Holt in the box, a right-handed bat.
I wonder if he can drag bunt it. I wonder if the coach would let him do that on his own.
Curveball stayed upstairs, ball 1.
Don't be afraid to drag it down third.
Man on second, nobody out here in the top of the third. Bulldogs trying to get the lead here. This would be a nice spot for Holt to just swap spots. Here it comes. Outside, that's going to get Carnes scampering over to third. 2-0. Now Holtz.
Made it to third anyway.
Yep.
Justice.
And Holtz, I agree. Very good. Now Holt's got to be just slobbering. Yep, he's saying hook up. That's right. Big old eyeballs. Catch that thing coming out of that hand and smoke one here on 2-0. He's got to come with a strike. Sit dead red, and here's the offering. And he did. It laced to center. It's going to be a sac fly. The right fielder, of course, in his rover spot, makes the snag. Carnes will tag cleanly. The throw comes in. It's cut, and no throw, and a sac fly RBI for Doc Holt.
Good. Did it good. I got a little bit under it, but like that, if that ball's lined up, it goes a long way. But instead, he did what he was supposed to do. And you tell him deeper to the right side. Well, he went deep to the right side.
Yep. And the Bulldogs take a 2-1 lead. There's one down now. Here's Austin Mitchell, who's in center field. If you're just joining us, pitched a duel in game 1.
A jewel.
4 hit, 11 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs. He was magical in
Magnificent.
game 1. Nearly unhittable. A couple errors were the only runs, the reason they scored runs. That one's outside, no runners. I was going to say that'll get the guys moving, but it's ball 1.
I like the sac fly, but I like doubles better.
I agree. 2-1, though. Bulldogs have scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Brown from the windup for Vilonia. He'll kick and fire. Mitchell rips this one to center, but right at the center fielder, and he'll make the catch. That's Vines out there in center.
Man, that was a great hit. We had the angle where he takes his hand straight to the ball, extends through the middle, at the line drive to center field, just right at him.
So here's Jay Wright, a chance to redeem. He struck out to end,
Number 10,
or to lead off the second, rather, and see if he can get one in play here and extend this at-bat in the top of the third. 2 down. Dogs leading 2-1, though. And Brown kicks and fires for Vilonia. A strike called. Delayed strike.
Delayed strike.
But it was a strike. I don't know what I was waiting on, but it was definitely a strike. 0-1 to Jay Wright. 2 down here, top of the third. And that is outside. Good job back there from Wilson to block it. Luke Wilson is the battery mate for Dawson Brown here in game 2. 1-1.
We see Jay's toes are on the middle of the line for the batter's box. He's taking away that inside and outside pitch.
And Brown will kick and fire. And that's right under the hands. What a pitch. Fantastic from Brown.
Any further in and it hits him, and it just isn't enough that he's so close to the plate it kind of handcuffed him.
That is an awesome pitch. 1-2. Put one right there again, and really Wright can't do anything with it. Let's see. That's in the dirt, 2-2.
He keeps his head keeps falling off because his head is slinging the ball that way. So you're wondering why he keeps throwing it, in the other batter's box. It's because instead of his head staying on his target, that's why his hat's falling off. He's slinging his head and it's pulling the ball across.
2-2. And just inside, boy, Jay wanted to wear that one. That one was right on the white paint of the batter's box. And when he's crouching like that, it just barely missed him. Here's the full count, the payoff pitch for Brown. Let's see who wins this battle. That's low. Good job from Jay Wright, working a nice walk. Beautiful at-bat.
Good at-bat. He really made the pitcher feel uncomfortable.
Yep. I thought when he threw that nice strike up under his hands that he might come and get him, but Jay was patient. Really up there, almost taken for a walk the whole way. Here's Harrison Adams now. Singled, scored a run for Greenwood. And a 2 outs. It's in there for a called strike. Nice curveball.
Well, if you feel like, Harrison got moved down in the lineup. First time he hadn't been 1, 2, or 3 all year. And, he's competitive enough. He probably took a little personal, said, hey, watch this. And we saw him have a good bat at first at bat.
That's way upstairs. 1-1 to Harrison Adams, the Greenwood shortstop.
Such a competitor.
Yeah. A run across. Carnes led off with a double. Moved over to third on a wild one. And Holt's sac fly RBI. Greenwood leads 2-1. Wright's got a lead at first base. Here's the 1-1. There goes the runner. The ball's in there for a strike, and Wright swipes the bag. And there he is in scoring position.
That's right.
But a 1-2 count. Adams will have to protect now. Harrison's in the 8 hole. No, I beg your pardon, in the 7 hole.
And you remember it all started with a ball that should have been a triple.
Yep.
Hung up in the tarp. Moved over from second.
Curveball locked him up. That's a good pitch. That's been a strike in game 1. Not so much in game 2, but he locked him up. However, some damage was done. There was a hit, a run, a man left on base. Middle of the 3rd inning, Greenwood 2, Vilonia 1. Let's take a quick break on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. And Vilonia leads 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th in game 2. Oof. So the Lady Bulldogs in danger of back-to-back sweeps in conference play.
Wow. Well, let's talk about baseball. I would think Greenbrier, they have the most seasoned pitcher. He's committed to the Razorbacks. He was a PBR player of the week, had 10 strikeouts and threw a no-hitter. I don't know who they played last week, but whoever he pitched against. Would it be Vilonia? Did Vilonia play Greenbrier?
Was it in the conference game? I'm sure he pitched the conference game.
Yes, it was conference game. But he had 10 strikeouts and threw a no-hitter in the conference
probably
game.
Probably Siloam or something.
Okay, well he's to me he's the one you're gonna have to beat.
What's his name? Not Justice.
Husky. Jordan Husky. Yep, Jordan Husky, and he's a good arm. He's gonna be high 80s. I don't know if he's made it up to low 90s yet, but he'll be somebody that. If he sticks with it, he'll probably get some innings at U of A. And, so especially if Sims is out. And then it's not that I don't like Kennan.
Mountain Home.
Kennan, Pettigrew, Austin. I'm just talking about seasoned senior pitchers because that's what Van Buren had last year. That's what it takes to really do well. When Greenwood won it, they had Nolan, Pashears, Van Cooten. They had those guys. You need seniors that can pitch to win.
And Payday did some pitching for the state title team. Here's Pettigrew back to work, and the first one's a called strike to Jack Vines, leading off the 3rd here for Vilonia. He's their center fielder. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Greenwood. Strozier had to jump up and get that one, 1-1. Hey, Greenwood just went up 5-4, so that's positive in softball.
Nice.
Desperately need to get a split out of here and get some confidence. Here comes the 1-1 from Pettigrew to their center fielder. He walked his first time up and scored a run. That is waiting for the delayed strike call, and it's not there. 2-1 now.
Should have been.
It's close. Behind the right-handed bat. Center fielder. Pettigrew. And it's over but low.
Was it close as a lingerie shop with no doors?
Wow. Maybe.
Lethal Weapon 4, maybe?
Wow.
3?
I don't remember that. That's a foul out of play, and I consider myself a Lethal Weapon connoisseur.
Well, she said it when he first met his current wife in Lethal Weapon. She said that, close as a lingerie shop with no windows or doors, and I was thinking, I didn't get it then. I don't think he got it either, and I still don't get it.
That's fantastic. I'm sure we'll get.
Look at it on the way home.
We'll get We'll get some work.
Thank you.
Some text on that. Here's a full count pitch. Plunked him right in the back and then bounced off Strozier's helmet. That's odd. But a hit by pitch, ball 4, however you want to call it. Give Strozier a chance to gather his thoughts as the home plate blue walks the ball out.
Giving everybody a break, the catcher, the hitter.
Yeah. So, a leadoff base runner usually doesn't fare well. It'll be Jake Fawcett. He's their right fielder. He was the one picked off out at second base. We threw behind him for out number 2 in the first inning. He singled to get there. Hit a rocket out to right field, as a matter of fact. And tried again that time, swing and a miss.
That runner at first with a huge lead. Trying to time up Pettigrew.
Brady working from the stretch for Greenwood. He'll come set up top, peek over there once, and then come home.
If he called that a strike,
outside.
yeah,
well,
that was.
I thought it was outside. I'm just waiting. He was a super delayed strike call earlier, so I've been kind of waiting.
If you want to be a decent, I'd just delay everything and then wait. Who do you hear the most cheers from?
Right. There's a chopper to Harrison Adams. Scoops it, throws to second for 1, over to first. Rack him up! A twin killing for the Bulldogs. A nice little 6-4-3 double play.
And that was a baby. I mean, that was something really nice and soft and easy. And, we did what we were supposed to do. It looked good. Made it look routine.
So there's 2 down now, and it's Brett Justice. 6-4 now. They're still batting in the 6th, so the Lady Bulldogs have put 4 runs up and trying to pull away in game 2 over there.
I heard you talking about the sweep,
right?
And I didn't like it.
Here's Brett Justice. He singled an RBI his first time up. And a breaking ball's in there for a called strike. Nice pitch from Pettigrew.
I think we've got some action in the bullpen, maybe. And I think Coach is kind of calming him down. Looks like Jay Wright.
0-1 count.
He's saying, okay, at first, when we hit the first batter, we see him foul it off out of play. Coach is like, okay, let's get somebody ready.
Yep.
And now that we got a double play and he's jumped out 0-2 again, then he's like, okay, let's stick with this a little bit longer. Now let's see if Pettigrew's learned 0-2, nothing over the plate.
Like to see something in the dirt and
bury it.
Then
That's
sinking.
Right.
Here's the 0-2. He served one up last time this scenario, and it cost us.
Same
they did
thing.
it again.
Did it again.
And this ball is hit a mile, and it is out of here. He grooved one right down the middle.
Yeah, he's right. Coach Mercado was asking how it happened, and Strozier was set off 3 balls off the plate, and Pettigrew left it right over the middle.
Yep, that's on Pettigrew there. So a solo home run, and this thing is tied. Well, we just sat here. Sometimes even we're pretty smart.
Well, you can't. You got to. And he's gonna obviously be a pitcher for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
You can't make that mistake against good teams. You just bailed that guy out of it. You had him down 0-2, and then threw a curveball over the middle, the heart of the plate.
Yep. Here's McCubbin now, their third baseman. He takes a hack at it to Carnes and right, and Grant's there, no problem. The one pitch too late as a deep fly from Brett Justice, a no-doubter to center field on a 0-2 pitch. And this thing is tied up at 2 at the end of 3 innings. Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog, 103.5. Vilonia, Tim Terry, Keith Holt, glad to have you aboard for some 5A West baseball. And a pitch that Pettigrew would like to have back for sure.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure Mercado gave him an earful. You know, that's something that he had Strozer go out and tell him. And, you know, the first thing Mercado did was look at Strozer, and Strozer was like, hey, it wasn't me. I was set up outside, and we can vouch for him. He was definitely off the plate. He's the one that curveball to start outside and stay outside, and Pettigrew just threw it right over the heart of the plate.
Yep. So we will try and learn as we go here. Still just 2-2.
And I think we checked last time. We talked about being slow starters and stuff. It's okay as long as you can finish. I think the Razorbacks were up 7-3 last I checked.
Right. Got a shout out from Mr. Grant McNew, the voice of the Vilonia Eagles, rolling by over here in the press row. 2-2. We go to the top of the fourth. It'll be Strozer, Saki, and Skaggs. 8, 9, and 1. And Dawson Brown back to work for Vilonia up on the bump. So a swing and a miss from Strozer. A nice twin killing for Greenwood. Got overshadowed by a solo shot there in the bottom of the third. But luckily for that double play, it was not a 2-run shot. Strozer laces one, but right at the center fielder, he took a step back and ended up making it. Vines made it an adventure, but he makes the catch out in center.
Center fielders have, you know, when you have one that you may have to dive for, he did what a lot of guys do, the athletic guys do, and that's get to the side. He dove for it, but he made sure it was out to his side a little bit. Mm-hmm. Gives you better vision and allows you to be more athletic with the ball. He did a good job of corralling that. Again, we've seen 2 balls that Greenwood's hit. Mitchell hit one, and Strozer just hit one on a line to center field. Good hits. Nothing wrong with those hits.
No. And there's Aiden Saki, looks at a curveball for strike one now, Greenwood's third baseman. He walked his first time up, was left out at second. Saki, a right-handed bat. And that one almost caught a sleeve. It stayed just a bit inside, nearly broke back into the zone, 1-1.
Well, this if we have to play Van Buren in postseason, we're going to see a kid that throws lots of curveballs, and this helps you.
Saki takes a hack at this one. It's to the right fielder. He's drawn a bead. That's Fawcett, and makes the catch for out number 2. Top of the order we go.
Again, if you don't keep your front side in and drive it that way, take your hands and drive it that way and get the barrel there, that's what you're going to do. You're going to flare it up in the air, and most of our guys have done that. So
we got 2 outs now in the leadoff spot is Braden Skaggs. Mikado runs through the signs. Morgan's out on deck. He's hoping Skaggs can extend this at-bat. Bryce is faunching. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. He wants to get back up there quickly. Skaggs takes a first pitch hack. Center fielder Vines draws a bead, though, and makes the snag. They go 3 up, 3 down on 3 loud outs, though. Fly balls to the outfield to no avail. And the Bulldogs go quietly here in the top of the fourth. We'll stay right here, Keith.
Well, we talked about when you're on the road and the other team has the hammer and they get last bats is you got to create a little cushion because anything can happen in those at bats.
Yep.
You know, baseball's crazy. And right now 2-2. We just had finished up to our 4th inning. They've still got their 4th inning. But then that gives you this 5th, 6th, and 7th, 9 outs to do some damage. So we're at the top of the lineup, so I'm going to say Greenwood really needs to hold them here, not let anything get started, no base runners, hold them, and then get in there and do some damage now and not put it off until the 6th or 7th inning.
5, 6, and 7 coming up for Vilonia. Brown, Osier, and Shaw are scheduled to hit. Pettigrew, who plunked a batter to lead off the inning and then enticed a double play ball, feeling good, and then gave up the solo jack to Justice. McCubbin got out to right field. Now let's see if Pettigrew can settle back in here as he paces the Vilonia pitcher, Dawson Brown, who flied out to center to end the first inning, his first at bat. He's 0 for 1. Pettigrew up on top. And outside ball 1.
When you hope he's not rattled from that home run to where now he won't throw it over the middle, to get ahead because he's been pitching so good so far.
Here's one lifted to center. Mitchell says, "Get out of here, Skaggs. I've got it." And he does have it. Out number 1.
Good job of keeping the ball low from Pettigrew.
Here's Soup Osier, big first baseman, right-handed bat. Campbell flied out to center to start the second. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. We're tied at 2. Greenwood looking to sweep this doubleheader. And Osier gets one laced to center, but Mitchell, no problem, draws a quick bead, scampered back about 10 steps. And out number 2. Osier with another center field fly ball.
It's good to include the outfielders every now and then. Sometimes they don't give as much work as infielders, and every now and then it's good to hit them a few balls.
7 fly ball outs so far in this game out of 11 outs so far.
And that's for Vilonia?
Yeah, they've hit 7 fly ball outs.
Wow.
And now here is Justin Shaw, their second baseman, who flied out to right his last time up. He's 0 for 1 in game 2. There's 2 outs. That's a good pitch from Pettigrew. Delayed call? No.
Wow. How's that not a strike?
I have no idea. Ball 1. And there's a strike or a foul ball, I guess.
I'll tell you how, and we've talked about this numerous times. The umpire won't sit up directly behind home. He stays in that gap between the catcher and the batter, mainly out of fear of getting hit directly with a ball, which he's got equipment on, and he can't see the outside pitch.
Right. Here's a 1-1. I like where he set up right there. There's a chopper. Kinsaki good. Oh, that ball hit and died. Across. Safe. Saki waited on the second big bounce, and it kind of hit and just died and rolled to him. Tough one there for Saki. And the bang-bang play at first, they ruled an error.
Well, he's got enough arm. He doesn't have to rush it. Like, he can come up and break down, get that. Because he booted it, picked it up, and still made it bang-bang at first.
Well, here's Jake Norman. This guy's been kind of a thorn in our side. As their DH, he singled his last time up. And I think he got stranded at second. I show first, but I think he made it to second, if I recall. 2 outs. And their DH digs in again. Lead over at first. Pettigrew comes home, and it's outside for a ball. 1-0. Holt will hold the runner at first. That's Shaw reaching on an error. 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th, tied at 2. Pettigrew, fastball in there. It's in the air, and Holt's going to run out of room. And strike 1. Good job from Strozier to let him know we're out of room.
Yeah, and he'll still, we talked about this last game, he's got to get over there and find that wall first.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it ever comes back, it's easier to catch a ball falling away from the building than it is towards the building or fence, whatever you have over there in that structure.
Here's the 1-1 to Jake Norman. And time is asked for. Strozier's going to head out and talk to Pettigrew. Let's get on the same page.
That's good. It may be pick, it may be hold. A lot of catchers may have a sign where you just sit there and play chicken with the batter. Who's going to be the first one to call time? And it's all about timing. Everything, the timing on the base runner, timing on the hitter, timing on the pitcher. It's all about timing.
Here's the 1-1 now. Pettigrew's ready, and Norman digs in from the right side. And Brady throws over, and the tag applied. Head first slide is in there, no problem for Justin Shaw. Norman will dig back in, couple taps on the plate. A bend at the knee, and we're ready to go. 1-1 from Pettigrew. This ball's hitting the air. It's in the infield. Who will have it? The shortstop, Adams, takes over. Good job of Morgan to get out of the way, and that'll do it. There was no runs, no hits. There was one error. They left a man on base. And the Bulldogs have navigated through 4 innings here on the road in Game 2, looking for the sweep of the Eagles. We're tied at 2 on the way to the 5th inning. It's Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. We're back here in Vilonia. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, Sean Holland engineering the live stream, producing. Joe Buffkin running the camera 1 here behind home plate off to my left. Outfield camera out on the fence. We appreciate everybody tuning in on the live stream. And we want to thank our sponsors, Pradco, Taco Bell, among others down the line. If you tuned in on the radio, enjoy. A lot safer. Just listen to the radio and put your phone down. If you're on the road, 6-5, top of the 7th. Lady Bulldogs trying to hang on to get a split over there. And it is Bryce Morgan. Couple of strikeouts here in Game 2. He's ready to get on the base. First pitch is outside, and to the backstop it goes for ball 1.
Bryce is the only person that can beat Bryce is Bryce. Bryce's biggest problem is just himself beating himself up. He's a good hitter. He's good when he just doesn't overthink things in that box.
1 ball count. Dawson Brown back to work and a swing and a miss. Good cut, good pitch.
It was. Just everything was early and nothing wrong with 1 strike. That's why you get 3. We talked about it.
Right. Here's a 1-1 from Brown. Vilonia kicks and fires. That's upstairs. Almost caught his bat in a little waggle there. Morgan, be careful there. It's 2-1 now.
Again, we've seen the pitcher numerous times throw that off speed away and then try to come in with a fastball, and it's just too high and inside.
Morgan waits on it. Let's see if he can square 1 up. The 2-1. Oh, that was it. Just took too much of a home run hack, and it's 2-2.
Yep, Coach telling him to shorten it up now.
Yeah.
Any way you can get on base. Choke
Morgan.
up, shorten up the swing, quick to the ball.
He's frustrated with himself, you know that. Spreads the base, batter's box, throws some dirt on the plate. Here comes the 2-2. It's upstairs, and he works the count full.
Yeah, it's got to make you nervous just being a high school batter with the amount of inconsistency from some officials. Like that one was high, but yeah, and you're like, man, it just gives you anxiety.
Here's the 3-2. But Keith, again though, you've said it a million times. You're going to get that 1 pitch in there.
That's
you got to
right.
get that. You got to hit that pitch.
That's right.
And not let the guys worry about it. Not let the pitcher dictate the at bat. And swing and a miss. And Morgan's going to wear the collar here. The 3rd strikeout. All of them swinging. It'll be Grant Carnes now with 1 out. Still tied at 2. We're in the top of the 5th here in Vilonia. 5A West doubleheader. Greenwood won Game 1 10-2. Dug a little hole early and got up, tied it up and got ahead 3-2, and then just kept on trucking. Brown for Vilonia is going to bring it home. Carnes way upstairs to Grant. Ball 1. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles here in Game 2. the first one or the second one caught up in the tarp out in right field, or it would have been a triple.
Yes.
Here's the 1-0. And this ball is mashed to the scoreboard. On their way back and out of here!
Baby.
A solo shot for Carnes. You knew it was coming. He squared one up and put it right below the scoreboard in left field. And the freshman is 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and now a solo jack.
Well, the problem is the tarp maybe cost him hitting for the cycle.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you had a triple, one of the hardest ones. He turned on that and laced that ball.
And he's been waiting all night. We've heard him kind of exhale on a couple of those hard hit balls to center. You've heard him kind of give it the as he was trying to smash one out. The wind we've talked about has laid down, and it's home run derby there for Grant Carnes, a no-doubter. And Dawson Holt now will come up with 1 out. Let's see if Holt can find the string here. He's got a little. Has he hit a home run here this season yet, Dawson?
I don't think he's ever hit one in his life.
My God, there's no time like the present. And that one's down in the dirt. I'll take a 4-pitch walk and get on base.
We've talked about it before. He's always had to play up with his older brother, so he never got to play on fields his size. And while his older brother and younger brother were playing on fields their size, hitting home runs, we kind of deprived him of that feeling.
I got you. Here's a 1-0 to Holt. It's okay to bat for average. That one's fouled up out of play. Good cut from Doc. 1-1.
Good cut.
3-2 Greenwood. Solo jack from Carnes here in the top of the 5th. Chicks dig the long ball.
We'd like to see us stretch it out. 3-2 is nice, but like you said, anything can happen in that last inning.
Here's the 1-1 to Holt. That's in the dirt. 2-1. 3-5-1 the line right now for Greenwood. 2-4-0 for Vilonia. And Holt with a 2-1 count here with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Inside, 3-1. Good eye for the junior first baseman for Greenwood, Dawson Holt. The doctor. Initials are DR. So Doc Holt.
Doc Holt.
It's 3-1. And here's Brown for Vilonia. He'll kick and fire. Holt laces this one to center, but Vines, who's fantastic out there for them. We've seen 2 good center fielders with Mitchell and Vines here in the game 2, and out number 2.
Just reach for it. We've seen the pop flies. We talked about the 2 line drives. They let it get a little bit deeper. Holt just reached for that ball just a little bit and got it lifted up in the air.
Speaking of center fielders, here he is, Austin Mitchell for the Bulldogs. He's the last hope here in the top of the 5th. Bulldogs up 3-2. And that's in the dirt, ball 1.
Good job of holding up. That's what we like to. It's yes until you see it's not a strike. And he was yes the entire way, and then he stopped himself from swinging.
I thought it was going to be right in there, too. Good take from Mitchell. Here's the 1-0. That's laced to right and over the right fielder's head. Nobody hit it right to him.
The guy's the luckiest guy.
It's unbelievable.
Like he knows where to go.
That's Fawcett out there in right.
Angels in the outfield are telling him where to go.
It's amazing. Hey, but there was some damage done here in the top of the 5th. 1 hit, 1 run, no one left on. A solo jack by Grant Carnes to left field. And the Bulldogs finally take the lead here, 3-2 in the middle of the 5th inning. And we're going to stay right here and enjoy some. This is Morgan Wallen. I don't know.
Well, you got a Jay Wright coming in, and he's going to take over for Pettigrew. And you got a senior on the mound who's done well at throwing strikes. He's consistent. And we got to find guys that can fill in holes when things aren't going great. We're missing Aiden Kennan in the pen and pitching, but I think Jay will come in and do exactly what he's supposed to do.
This will be Chris Jansen singing here in the Between Innings
Gotcha.
remix. Yep, we'll see what Jay Wright can do. He's DH in this game, so you don't have to do much moving around. He's been over in the bullpen getting loose, so he should be ready to go. 3-2, Bulldogs lead. I think that's the only change. Yep. No reason for any other. Greenwood, the Van Buren deal left a bad taste in my mouth, but They sure look like they've learned from what mistakes they've made. They're not doing just the stupid errors. It's bad fielding out there. Lost some fly balls. Let's see. They're going to have a change, too, in their batting order as they're going to have a pinch hitter coming up.
Pitching for Greenwood is number 10.
Well, and nobody wants to make an error. I mean,
No.
you and I talked about on the way up here. It's not like the kids take tons of ground balls and stuff, and I don't think it's pressure that gets to them. I just think sometimes errors happen, and it's not always the most opportune times, and sometimes it's back to back. But it's how you can react to those errors. And we've seen some of the Greenwood kids just be outstanding young men and stand up and say, "Look, I'm tired of it happening. I'm going to do something else." And some of them just had bad luck. We see first pitch high for ball one.
This is Tipton, who pinch hit earlier in game one. He's in there again for McCool. This one's lifted up and foul right over the fingernail moon that has appeared up in the night sky.
It's actually holding water. No Indian. They look up there and they say, "Well, it's holding water and it's going to rain tonight."
Maybe that's why it stopped raining. Here's a 1-1. Indians, I like them. And Wright comes home with it, and that's just missed upstairs, 2-1. Lights of the football field on out in the right field. Eagle relays still going on. Maybe ending by now. Swing and a miss from Tipton. It's 2-2. Bulldogs up 3-2 on Carnes' long ball here in the top of the fifth. Wright's coming in relief of Pettigrew. See if he can close the door here and keep Vilonia off the scoreboard. That one's high, full count. This is their 9-hole. Tipton pinch hitting. Jay Wright brings it home. Plunked him. Oh, that's what you didn't want. You can't hit that 9-hole.
No.
And now, speaking of hit by pitch, here comes their leadoff, Jack Vines, who was hit his last time up. Walked. Did get cut down in the double play ball, though, but
see a little bit of scurrying. We don't know if the bullpen.
Bashir heading down there.
Aiden, Kennan, Bashir.
Looks like lots of folks getting loose over there. This is a must-win. Wright brings a strike in there. Nope. A high ball. Yeah. Just missed upstairs to Vines.
He was going to call it.
Wow. Nobody out here. Right, so that is a ball. 2-0, and Mikado's seen enough. He's going to come in and talk to Jay Wright. Don't know if anybody's had time to get loose yet.
I don't think they have. He's telling them right now, look, you're a senior. Throw strikes and let them beat us. You got defense behind you. Throw strikes and let them beat us.
That's right.
Let's not give it to them. We've done that too many times. Remember what happened to Van Buren?
Yes, 100%. Vine says, let's go. Give me a strike. I'm feeling it. 2-ball count. And Jay Wright from the stretch up top plunked the 4-hole. And McCool, by the way, re-entered to run for Tipton down there. And here's Jack Vines, rather.
Oh, he was about to go, too. You saw him get that bounce lead.
3-0 now to Vines. Wright's got to come with a strike for Greenwood. And he didn't. He walked him. First and second now, nobody out.
That's going to be it for Jay.
He gave him an opportunity to try to get out of the jam, and he's going to point to Carnes out in right field. And so he and Jay Wright will probably just swap spots, huh?
Imagine so, yes.
So we're going to have to take a little bit of a break here as Carnes is going to come in and pitch. Been on the field, so he'll have a little extra time to warm up as he goes and gets a different glove. 3-2, Bulldogs lead. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Nobody out, a hit by a pitch and a walk, and the Eagles are in business here against the Bulldogs. Grant Carnes coming to the bump, and we'll bring it to you after this quick timeout on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. help things out here with nobody out and 2 men on. And we're ready to go now. It is Fawcett will come up.
And hopefully when Coach was out there, he set his bunt defense because you got to think nobody out, runners at first and second. They're down 1. You want at least one runner to make it to third base, and that way you can get him. So,
yeah, and here comes Mikado. He's going to bring Holt into the grass. And
I'm imagining that Saki will stay back so he can cover, and then you'll just have Morgan get ready to go cover first for Holt.
And either Carnes or Holt will fill the bunt. Here's the first one from Carnes, a fastball that Fawcett gave a poor offering to, strike 1. We are in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, if he does bunt, I don't know that Morgan's going to be ready. There he goes. He's making his way over there now.
And the bunt is down, and it is foul. So 0-2 count now to Jake Fawcett.
That's great when you see that. It drives the coach crazy not get that bunt down.
Yes.
You know, you're not bunting for a hit there. You just need it to be somewhere between the pitcher and first so you can move guys around. He tries to kind of bunt for a hit. Now he's got 2 strikes. Puts everybody in a bad situation.
Well, we saw him lace one to right field in the first inning. A well-hit ball for a single. Let's see if he can get out of this 0-2 hole. Let's see if Carnes puts one across the plate. Well, we learned? We have. Good job. And Fawcett almost went after it. Something is up and out of the strike zone.
If I'm Morgan, I'm going to be ready in this hole over here. He's late chasing those fastballs.
Tomahawking. Here's a 1-2 now to Jake Fawcett. And Carnes up on top. And here it comes. And he got him, swing and a miss. The ball got below Strozier, but he'll find it. Strikeout's good.
Good.
And now there's one down, and the Bulldogs a double play away from getting out of this mess. And Brett Justice, of 2 for 2, RBI, or 2 RBI, I guess. One of them was a solo dinger his last time up. Softball wins 7-5, a final. They get the split down here from Vilonia, a huge split they needed on the road here for Saki's ladies.
Want to be down going into the 6th inning. That's tough. It's a good win.
Carnes, some high gas to Justice, ball 1. Grant, see if he can get something down low and get that double play grounder.
And if you don't, the defense has got to be set to where you forget about the first guy and get the second guy. You don't want, you're okay to giving up 1. You can't give up 2 here.
Called strike, and that was all on Strozier back here.
Yeah, that was a bad call by the umpire, but great job by Strozier for stealing that strike. 1
ball, 1 strike to Brett Justice. And Carnes kicks and fires. Same spot, just if he'd have caught it, he would have got the strike call. 2-1.
I think the umpire just said I might have missed that 1. I think he told that. You see the batter smile.
Right. Well, that was evened up then because that one would have been a strike. That's called strike. 2-2. Good pitch. So now everybody's even.
Yeah, welcome to our world. I mean, we've been trying to swing at those and wonder why those are getting called strikes too.
Here's the 2-2. 1 out. And Carnes, as Strozier goes way outside and sits up. And tipped it, caught it, got him. Out number 2. Wow. Fantastic job from Strozier to squeeze that tipped ball. And there's 2 down now.
It was a good job of Carnes for looking at second. The guy on second was timing up Carnes. He was about to steal third, which anything can happen when that happens. Carnes looked back at just the right time and kept him close.
Here's Ian McCubbin, their third baseman. He's 0 for 2 today. A couple of flyouts to the outfield. And now Carnes with some high heat and ball 1. Trying to get out of this jam as they had 2 on, nobody out. Strozier's going to head out and talk to Grant.
Just going to make sure they're on the same page with the runner at second. Make sure no one's stealing any signs.
3-2 Greenwood with the lead. This is their cleanup batter, McCubbin, the 4-hole. Bottom of the 5th. Got to get this guy right here, Keith. 2 down, a 1-0 count. Carnes with runners at first and second, and a called strike on the outside block. That's a beautiful pitch.
It is. I agree with their fans. That's a ball and a half off. It's been a strike.
Yes,
it's been a strike,
yes.
But it's still tough to hit.
Catch that front black corner of the plate there. It's a strike. It's been a strike for their guys all night. 1-1. Carnes are ready up top. Strozier again sets up outside. And that time he didn't give it to him.
That's the same pitch.
2-1. That's exactly right. Their fans bought that ball there. And the Greenwood faithful getting antsy. 2-1. And here is the pitch from Carnes. That's in there for a called strike. 2-2.
Yeah, the umpire's discombobulated now. He just punched him out.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's calling backwards. It's 2-2.
he
Two
did.
out.
He punched him out. The batter said, that's just 2.
Golly. Well, let's do it right here. Let's see if we can get McCubbin swinging anyway. That is outside, full count. All right, the payoff pitch. Everybody's going to get their lead.
And you got to give it to Strozier. He just kept moving a little bit further out, knowing that he was getting them.
Yep.
That was just a little too far.
He's out there again. Here it comes, the payoff. Got him, and he wouldn't rack him up. Boy, that was close. And a walk. And bases loaded. So.
That ball's outside.
Oh, yeah, right. But it's been that 50-50 spot we've seen. McCool to third.
Good pitcher number 7, Dawson Brown.
Vines to second. McCubbin's at first. Here's their pitcher, Brown. I want to try to help himself. And he's first pitch swinging. And this one's out of play over towards their gymnasium area.
Oh, I almost hit a little kid.
Sweet Moses.
I think there'd be adults over there diving to save them.
Well, they're too busy watching the game and yelling at the ump. 0-1 to count. To Dawson Brown, their pitcher. He's 0 for 2. Flied out to center twice. Can Greenwood get out of this bases loaded jam? Carnes up on top. He's ready. And a swing and a miss from Brown. Oh, ahead 0-2 now. Can Carnes. Now, Keith, here you go. You've got a guy that's kind of a power pitcher. We don't want to give him something to hit at 0-2, or do you rear back and blow some gas by him?
You're going to leave a high fastball here.
And he did. He came up over the top, and it's out of play. Good pitch from Great Carnes. A great job from Dawson
hard,
Brown.
Though, yeah, is to not say I'm going to blow it by you. You know, you're what, 15, 16 now?
Right.
You're 18-year-old kids you're facing.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful to not carry that same confidence over.
Beautiful job from Strozier to block that in 1 and 2. He threw in the dirt.
That's why he gets the big money. That's a tough block. And especially not to let it bounce over towards their dugout since his momentum's going out that way. To get around that ball is great by Strozier.
Here's the 1-2 from Carnes. Just outside, 2-2. But it's been a 50-50 pitch. Maybe we'll get it next time.
And Dylan agreed. Did Dylan tell him it was out?
Yeah. 2-2. 2 outs. Huge spot right here at the bottom of the 5th. Dogs hanging on to a 1-run lead with bases loaded, and Carnes kicks and fires. And there's a chopper foul. Mikado on a hop right back out to his pitcher. Well done, Skip.
Whenever I asked Ty's at catcher, my youngest, and I asked him if it was was that pitch, he ignores me if it was a strike. He said, Dad, I'm not going to make the umpire mad at me.
Well, that's a good way to do it. I like that.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2. High heat. We've ran the count full. No place to put him, so Carnes has to come with a strike here. Throw it underhand.
All right, everybody's going to be moving and running, so your play's at first base.
Dawson Brown, the pitcher, trying to get an RBI to help himself and tie this game. And a chopper back to Adams. He'll field it. Over to first base. Got him! And the Dogs get out of the jam. Oh, baby! Bases loaded.
And we talk about Harrison's had a couple of errors. And, you know, his pressure and Kenny, there's no more pressure than that right there. Guys running at him, guy going to second base, ball hit up the middle, tying run coming, and he made that play look just as routine and easy as possible.
Well, and here's the deal, too, Keith. I'm thinking, just run up and touch second. But like you said, we practice fielding grounders and going to first more than anything in a day's practice in your whole life. And what a huge play from Adams to collect. No problem. Nice exchange, glove to hand, and on to first base for the 3rd out. And Greenwood gets out of a huge, huge jam in the bottom of the 5th. And they lead 3-2. And it's going to be Wright, Adams, and Strozier up as we head to the top of the 6th. Three to 2, Greenwood leads. Tim Terry, Keith Holt.
Everybody asking us our vantage point, and we've got a good one. But we've talked about what makes good umpires. It's not really that they do the perfect strike zone; it's that they're consistent.
Yes,
that's what makes them good, and they haven't been today.
Well, I think if you're 50-50 on the same pitch being a ball and a strike, that's consistent. That's pretty average.
I thought consistency is 50. 50-50 is not consistent. That's not good.
They have been. Both of these guys have been. It's been a crapshoot on that outside pitch.
It is, and it's
umpires.
It's 70-30. I mean, you can go either way. There was Carnes threw 2 balls that have been a strike most of the day that were balls.
Yes.
He also threw 2 balls that most of the day are 2. Yeah, they were strikes, but most of the day they've been balls. I mean, it's gone both ways.
Yes. Well, here's Jay Wright to lead off the top of the 6th. Greenwood clinging to a 3-2 lead. Need some insurance runs here. Wright bats in the 6th hole. Jay came in and started as DH. Came in and pitched in relief. Saw a couple of batters and went to left field or right field. And a curveball is upstairs for ball 1.
It had to be up because it was right down the middle.
So Wright has ball 1. Jay crowds the plate a bit. That one's inside. We're going to let it plunk him. It broke, but not quite enough. Stayed up underneath him.
He dropped his arms. If he keeps his arms where they were, it hits him.
Yep. 2-0 to Jay Wright. Dawson Brown working hard for Vilonia. He's done a well of a job tonight. And the fastball is over but low. 3-0 to Jay Wright. Jay walked in the 3rd and struck out looking in the 2nd.
And we just may have seen the incredible shrinking strike zone.
Here's a 3-0 to Wright. And he walked him on 4 pitches. Great at-bat and a good eye for the senior. And here's Harrison Adams.
Coach is going to go out and have a word with him, and I don't know if he's going to talk to him. It's got to be up in pitch count. I'll have you a pitch count here in a second.
Meeting on the mound. Brought to you by the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. I've got to get one and get it wet and go catch me some crappie, maybe out at Lake Worcester. They're going to go with the pitching change. Thank you to Pradco and all of our sponsors, Taco Bell, down the line. That is going to be all for Dawson Brown, who did layman's work out there. And they're going to go with Ian McCubbin, who was at third base, and I think Brown will just swap spots with him. Brown played second in game 1, I think, and we'll see if they do any other swapping about as we watch the guys warm up here during the pitching change. It looks like that he will go to third.
Well, all the pressure's on them. We're up 1 run. They can't let us get more. They've got the leadoff runner on base. You got Mitchell batting. Adams batting, and he's been streaky lately. Do you bunt him just to get a runner in scoring position for Dillon that hasn't been as hot? I mean, to me, I let Harrison hit and see what happens.
I do too.
You play for the big inning. Don't play for 1 run. You already got the 1 run. You need to win it. Let's play for the big inning so we can bury him.
Well, let's watch this pitcher. He's hit the backstop 4 or 5 times here, trying to throw some junk stuff up there. He's got some velocity. This is McCubbin, but haven't seen it strike yet. The catcher's been having a hard time flagging down these balls that are moving all over the place.
Oh, he hasn't thrown a curveball near the plate.
No. And now Coach can't even get a ball back into their catcher. This has been kind of a Keystone Cops pitching warm-up. That's again he dropped
backstop.
Amazing. Well,
pitcher's just ready. He's like, okay, let's just go.
Yeah,
we had one of the parents tell us that they just don't have a lot of pitching.
Right.
And
yep.
It's crucial in these doubleheaders to have at least 4 guys.
Yep, you got to.
2 in each game.
Yep.
It'd be nice to have 5. The good ones have 5. Another guy that can come in for a middle inning or 2.
Or even a super ace that gives you the complete game, and then
you bet
3 or 4 guys to scrap together the second win.
That's right. All hands on deck.
Yep. Well, here we go. It's Harrison Adams, singled, scored a run, struck out looking. And Ian McCubbin, the new pitcher for Vilonia. He's a right-handed pitcher. Brown goes to third. They just swap spots. And the first one, of course, is in there for a called strike.
He didn't throw one near the plate.
Not even. And the ones that he did, the catcher didn't catch.
Wow.
So 0-1.
Guess he needed that pressure of having a batter up there.
That's right. You need kind of a reference point.
That's right.
Here it comes from McCubbin. And there's a shot to the shortstop. He'll gobble it up. Can he turn two? Took it himself to second. He does. 6-3 on the double play.
Says, I'm not going to flip it. I'm going to take it myself. Most guys from where he fielded it would flip it, but
Certainly.
he was not going to risk it.
Very strange.
Well, it is a new second baseman, correct?
No, those guys, this game, but he's been there the whole game. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. The only change was the pitcher at third base. So now Strozer's got to do it with 2 outs. A leadoff walk erased with a double play ball. A nice bit of fielding from, that's Justice there at short. And here's McCubbin. And Strozer's first one's over, but low for ball 1. Strozer's flied out to center, flied out to right here in game 2. Been fantastic behind the dish. See if he can get the barrel on one. Tried that time, swing and a miss, 1-1.
You know, the really good teams are consistent up the middle. You know, catcher, short, second, center, and then you put a pitcher on the mound that can throw strikes, and the rest you fill in and stuff. And Greenwood's there. You just haven't get to, you know, probably the biggest difference is Morgan having to move to second instead of having that senior at short because of his arm. You know, now he's at second, and you know Harrison's just got to make that adjustment over there, and he'll be fine. But I think that's very solid for Greenwood up the middle.
Oh, Strozer took that one right in the spine and hit by a pitch and get on base any way you can. The Saki, nope, they're going to pinch hit Baxley again. We saw this in game 1.
Yeah, that ball stopped and thudded right in the middle of his back. You can see a courtesy runner come on with Zane Denson.
Yep, we'll let Strozer shake that one off. So
He's a catcher. They're a different breed.
True, kind of like linebackers.
He'll go in there and say, I ate that.
For Greenwood, number 11, Zane
Right.
Denson.
And here's Baxley now, who pinch hit in game 1, came through, scored a run, as a matter of fact. Runner at first base.
Hitting for Greenwood, number 12, Jake Baxley.
Baxley, another senior, right-handed bat.
Had the infield swing and bunt.
Yeah. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Dogs up 3-2. Runner on over there. Courtesy running for Strozer. Baxley late on the cut and a fastball, strike 1. Who did we say that was running?
Zane Denson.
Denson, yeah, Zane Denson. Skaggs out on deck if Baxley can extend the at-bat. 3-2 Bulldogs. Carnes' long ball is the difference here. He went deep in the 5th. A solo shot. And here's McCubbin kicking and firing. Curve balls in there for a called strike.
And, you know, and talk about baseball, it's that curve ball's a sharper, it's a faster, it's thrown harder, sharper. You know, it's kind of a hybrid between the curveball and the slider. The movement on it, it's just different than the other two they've seen all day.
0-2. And he checked. He did. 1-2. He was wanting to go get it and it ended up low. Baxley's got to get confident here and drive one. A 1-ball, 2-strike. I like this pitcher. Has probably been the best we've seen today, huh, for them.
Yes, I think so. As far as velocity, sharp breaking ball.
Yeah. His delivery, his mannerisms, everything makes me think he's one of their better ones. Low. Baxley just checked up at the last moment. It's 2-2.
And they may use him in this role as a closer, that being 3-2, and they just didn't have an opportunity the last game to use him to where he comes in and throws 2 innings a game.
Here's the 2-2. It's going to be that breaking ball. Been backs hang on and not swing. Here it is. He chops this one towards the second baseman. Gobbled over to first. Pulled him off, but Ozier applied the tag. It was close. 4-3 on the putout. Well, hit by pitch. We left a runner on. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Ozier, Shaw, and Norman for the Eagles Bulldogs cling to a 3-2 lead here in Game 2 of this 5A West doubleheader. Bulldogs won Game 1 10-2. We'll just stay right here, and Carnes will come back out to work here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, 3-2, 5 hits to 4. We won the first game handily. Excuse me. The difference in this game to me was the people left on base early. We had too many good opportunities that seemed like we should score guys, and we didn't. And you put a team away, and we talked about it. You let a team hang around, you beat them 10-2. You let them hang around, they keep their confidence and say, wait a minute, let's split. Let's work for a split.
Yep.
And I think they were poised to let us take both games.
Yep. Ozier will lead off here in the bottom of the 6th, and he's had some loud outs today, and certainly looks like a guy that if you give him one in his wheelhouse, he can deposit it into the night sky. So we have to see a good matchup here with him and Carnes. Carnes kind of a power thrower.
You're just thinking 6 outs, just give me 6 outs.
Yeah, right.
6th inning, 7th inning, let's take the bus ride home.
Right. And as we've talked about, we split with Russellville in the first series, got swept at home by Van Buren. You've got to go now on the road and get a sweep to try to hold serve, if you will, in the conference race.
That's right.
And it is Campbell Ozier. Soup is flied out to center field twice. Mitchell waiting on him out there. And here's Carnes ready to rock and roll. Bottom of the 6th, Bulldogs up 1, and a fastball's in there for a called strike.
Now they're just getting ridiculous.
All the home
yes.
fans swinging a miss.
He said just because he puts his glove up doesn't mean it was. I mean, it was right down the middle.
There was no doubt strike. Both of those were in there. Here's the 0-2 to Ozier. And Carnes comes set up top. Strozier scoots outside, and they go out there.
A good waist pitch.
Yep, it's fantastic. 1-2.
Now come back with that slider on the outside part of the plate.
Here's the 1-2 to Campbell Ozier. And there it is. Got him. Rack him up. Throws him with that slider just like you wanted, Keith, the backwards K. There's one down here in the 6th.
And in everybody's defense, probably wasn't a strike.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, it was a great pitch. He hit a spot, but
just don't talk too loud.
That's that 50-50.
Right. We don't want the umpire to hear us.
But the thing you like is Carnes is hitting his spots.
That's the deal.
And Strozer's smart enough to take what the umpire will give you.
And there's a ball that I thought Shaw, their second baseman, might try to square for a bunt for a minute. He pulled back, still a called strike.
Because we've slowly watched Strozier work his way even further and further and just taking whatever the umpire will give him. Like, that's a strike.
Yep.
That's the same pitch a while ago.
1-1. One down here in the bottom of the 6th. Carnes working from the stretch with nobody on. And he will bring it home. Swing and a miss to Shaw. 1-2.
Same pitch.
But that time he swung at it.
That time he swung at it because he thought, wow, I got away with one.
Here comes the 1-2. And it's outside. 2-2. 3-2, Greenwood leads.
That's that 50-50.
Yep. Well, I think you're not going to get it when Sturger goes way out there. I mean, he's
with his feet and he's set up out there.
I mean, you're not going to get that. This guy will get run out of town by the home crowd, and that's what he's telling him right now. A dugout warning?
Wow, he said a balls and strikes warning for arguing balls and strikes.
Well, it was 3. They called a ball.
I know.
Swing and a miss. And that got everybody out of sorts.
Can't argue that, can you?
Nope. And there's 2 down. I wonder what he was grabbing about.
There's all kinds of techniques they teach catchers with your body and how it's set up, and I think he's looking a lot at Strozier too. Like you said, when his body is out there, even though his glove catches it there, he's thinking, well, his body's way over there. It looks further out than it is.
And you don't want to catch it from the home crowd.
Yes.
And I'm not sure their skipper is livid over there. I'm not sure why.
He just got shushed.
Back-to-back balls. What was he complaining about? See, I'd start ringing all that up just on principle. Here's Jake Norman. Ball 1 to him.
What was that?
Not sure what that was. 2 outs. Carnes kicks and fires. There's a chopper. Adams going to get a nice Sunday hop, gobbles it. over to first. You bet. Holt snags it. And 1, 2, 3 they go here in the 6th. Bulldogs leading 3-2. 7th inning.
Here we go, the big one.
Let's take a timeout at Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5.
I wish everybody else could see.
We are back here in Vilonia, and the Vilonia skipper, Brad Wallace, is just pacing around, furious. The hat's off. He's rubbing his head. He got a balls and strikes warning from home plate blue, and that came after consecutive 50-50 pitches that were
in his
called
favor.
Balls.
Yeah, they were in his favor.
So maybe that's why you warned again. If you're going to grab when I'm giving you the call, you're getting the balls and strikes warning.
Well, you can ask, well, why do we have such a good – we've got a space between the umpire and the catcher that we can see where it's going.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are on the white of the batter's box away from the batter.
Yes.
You know, and it changes per batter. I mean, he's not giving that big of the outside on the inside pitch. He's not giving 3 balls on the inside, but he is on the outside. And then he does that 50% of the time.
Well, Keith, I mean, you couldn't have put it any better on the pedestal for us. We are at the top of the order. And it's Skaggs.
But I like him throwing that curveball, the first pitch, because our guys can adjust once they see it again. It's sharper breaking, but that way, Skaggs can make an adjustment.
Gobbled up at short, and just in time, a bang-bang play over there. Justice with a nice arm. I like their shortstop there, 6'3". I like the Vines kid out in center, too. They've got a couple of quality players here for Vilonia. This pitcher is solid. You know, you talk about it's obvious he's a closer kind of guy, but, man, I don't know if I might not want to see this guy earlier.
Oh, I know. It may be a longevity thing. You may not be able to get that many innings out of him.
Well, here's Morgan now, who's wore the collar. 3 Ks on the card. 1 out. And this one's ripped to center, a little lazy fly that falls in front of the center fielder, so he won't have the golden sombrero. And a fine job by Bryce Morgan, the senior, that I'm not going down without a fight, and he gets a single.
That's right, and that's hard for kids. They're giving him heck out there. Yeah. Well, you know, we tell kids if you're 0 for 7, that just means you're going to go 3 for 10. You have to have that mentality that you're going to bat 300 no matter what, and no matter what your first few at-bats are. And Morgan did a good job. Usually he lets that stay in his head a little bit. He did a good job.
And Coach asked for time to go out and talk to his pitcher, Wallace, and an extra stare to the home plate blue. I'm not sure what he said in there, but very interesting.
Oh, he's mad. I don't think he's talking to him about his pitching as much as he's talking to the umpire about his umpiring.
It's a very odd deal. It's not like.
And the umpire's not going to go tell him to hurry up, is he?
Right. Just let him, he stayed there at the home plate. Very strange deal. Now, the ump got into a jam there and called backwards for about 3 or 4 pitches. He's still barking at him. Too bad I don't have his earphones on. I'd like to hear that.
It'll be interesting to see where this pitch is, because I'm not, and I know this is me thinking as a baseball player, I'm not sure that he doesn't think that our players were kind of John the pitcher instead of Morgan, and this one doesn't end up in the middle of Carnes' back.
Well, he went, and it's going to be a called strike.
See, they barked something over there, and I don't know what he...
I'd like to see Carnes let one fly again. Carnes 3 for 3 today. That ball's in the dirt, 1-1. 2 doubles and a home run. He's got 2 runs scored. The freshman is in relief right now looking for a big save. Here's the 1-1 to Carnes. Morgan with a lead. 1-out single here in the top of the 7th. Upstairs with the fastballs, 2-1 now. Our breaking ball kind of stayed up and away.
He throws it hard. That's the thing that's deceiving about the curveball is he throws it, his body motion is as hard as the fastball. Really spins it.
Here's the 2-1. Holt's out on deck. They throw over Morgan barely back in.
They haven't picked a lot, and it's easy to get comfortable over there as a runner.
Right. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Greenwood clinging to a 1-run lead. McCubbin comes home, and Carnes tried to check his swing. They throw down, and they called a strike late. 2-2. One out.
They're saying to throw the runner out. You don't have to do anything on a drop third strike, but throw the runner out. Tell the catcher what to do.
Here's the 2-2. And Carnes laces this one to center. Is it going to get down? It does! Another base hit. The Bulldogs with back-to-back 1-out singles. And we're in business here in the 9th.
Good piece of hitting. And, you
Carnes 4 for 4, by the way.
And you hate it because that ball that got caught up in the tarp was a triple. And that's the cycle.
Sure would have been. Certainly would have been. So, 3-2. Here's Holt now with 1 out. He struck out an RBI sac fly to right and then flied out to center. And Holt, the first baseman, with runners at first and second, and that's just outside.
Don't miss the fastball.
Ball 1.
Quick hands, let's go.
1 ball, no strikes to Doc Holt, Greenwood's first baseman. Runners get their lead at first and second. Back-to-back singles from Morgan and Carnes.
Inside, get your hands there.
There's 1 out. And there's the fastball, but it's up in the air, and it's going to get out of play. Right side, 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's still in control. You're still up. Your job now is to try to hit behind it. Just put the ball in place somewhere.
And here again, we've got that huge acreage. Kind of looks like Holland's Farm out there in right field. It's just unbelievable how far the right fielder is off of the line. Maybe that's normal. It just looks awkward.
No, it's really not.
Here's the 1-1 to Holt. Of course, it's the same in left. You can pull one down the line, and that's outside. 2-1. High and upstairs.
Uh-oh.
And the Vilonia skipper's going to come out and make a change, he said, in his fielding. And this should be interesting. 2 balls, 1 strike to Holt.
Oh, and I don't know if he's trying to get a pitch ready, which I think it's going to be too late. I think he's just trying to slow the momentum down.
Probably so. And someone's going to head out onto the field, and they're going to maybe bring this guy in, maybe try to think about getting him loose. A new second baseman is Grayson Bates, number 2.
Second base, number 2, Grayson.
He's getting onto that second baseman, so I don't know. Oh, he's not. I think they just did it to stop the play, to be honest.
So Bates will now come to second base. Grayson Bates. Here's Holt now, 2-1 count. Runners at first and second. 1 out, top of the 7th. The Bulldogs up 3-2. And Holt ducked under that one, 3-1.
It would have hit him in the head.
Yeah, Mitchell's on deck. Austin's feeling it. He's ready. Let's see if Holt can get on base here. Come on, Doc. The 3-1. And that's in there for a called strike. Can he stay aggressive here? One more pitch. First and second. Need would love to have some insurance runs here as we go to the 7th, bottom half. And Holt went down after it to the second baseman, and they pitched to second for 1, and no way at first. So they force Carnes at second. And that is a fielder's choice for Holt.
Yeah, Dawson looked fast getting down the line. There was no way they were going to double him up.
They actually tried to look back to third, kind of pump fake, and maybe catch Morgan wandering off.
And I think what they did was we saw them not flip it to the second baseman earlier. I don't think he's a true second baseman that's been there. I think they put the second baseman in there. He looked a lot better on that flip.
Yep. So Carnes is out 4-6 on the force at second. Holt's on with the fielder's choice. We got 2 down. Here's Austin Mitchell. our center fielder. He's 0 for 3 today. And that one's inside, ball 1.
May look for a leave early or a delay from Mercado, something to get ball moving. You got a senior at third base that knows when to go. Dawson kind of looks at Kramer's like, was something on?
2 outs. They're going to fake the third and fake the first action.
So they must have thought something was up too.
1 ball count to Austin Mitchell. I'd like to see him square one up. Pitch to Dandy, got the win, a complete game duel in game 1. And that's in there for a called strike. Oh. Curveball. Nice pitch. I like this McCubbin guy. Mitchell will wait. Here's the 1-1. Foul straight back into the netting. 1-2. They're going to have their 9-1-2 coming up. Tipton pinch hit for McCool the last time he came through. We'll see who bats there, and then it'll be Vines and Fawcett. So 9-1-2.
And I know it's risky, but I almost send Holt in motion here. You got to expect that curveball to be outside. Tough throw for the catcher.
There he goes. And they're going to try to run at Holt and get him in the rundown. Morgan's going to come home, and he's going to score, and it pays off, and he's safe at first. Oh, no. He's safe at first.
He was safe at first.
He dove back in. They're going to call him out, but the run's going to score. Wow, that's a tough call over there on Holt.
He got in there
underneath. He certainly did. Wasn't even close. Dawson's mad at himself, but that's a shame that he got called out there. But the job got done, and the run scored. It's an insurance run for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he did. He knew all he had to do was stay in it long enough for the run to score, and he did. But again, when you do that and you get safe, that's what's frustrating for him.
Yes.
We've seen umpires miss 2 calls at first base.
Well, Mitchell will get another hack at it if for some reason they get 2 runs here. But it's party time now, and they put the ball in the hands of the freshman Grant Carnes. As we move to the bottom of the 7th, Greenwood got that 1 insurance run. The job was done. I can't believe they gave up the run, to be honest with you.
You can't. You're supposed to, as soon as you do it, you check the runner. You throw it to the second baseman, so that way his eyes are facing the field the whole time. And then you control things from the second baseman. Then if he breaks, you've got him, or you can just you slowly walk him back. First baseman closes the gap, and then that's the way you do it. But you have to practice.
In a one base runner affair, you run at the guy in that pickle. I understood that. He did this. He did that and ran at Dawson, but nobody was there to throw it to around Holt. So as long as he can just play keep away, they never came home. So Doc just stayed away from him long enough, and he finally threw it to first. But
that's why I'm saying the pitcher's got to give it up.
Yeah.
When he runs away from this, he's got his back to everything.
Right.
While he's running at Dawson, that guy's slowly coming down. Everybody says, "Whoa, runner!" And he turns. He's too far away. It's too late.
Yeah, it's just a shame that they get called Doc out at first.
Oh, I know.
Well, here we go. It is going to be McCool, Hunter McCool, who popped out to the first baseman in the 2nd. He was pinch hit for in the 5th. And Tipton was plunked, by the way. And so here's Carnes now working from the stretch. The freshman now. Greenwood up 4-2. Desperately needing a sweep here on the road. The bunt is squared back, and it's fouled back to us right underneath my feet for strike 1.
And that's no confidence in either our defense or your hitting if you're down 2 and you're trying to bunt for a hit, especially with the third baseman in on the grass.
Here's the 0-1. Carnes just needs to throw strikes. And there's one just outside, 1-1.
You know, and it's the first time we've really seen a good lefty with that outside pitch. Right. That's the same distance.
Left-handed batting McCool. That's in there for a fouled out of play. It was going to be a strike. 1-2.
Who played here 2 weeks ago that split? Was it Van Buren split with Vilonia, didn't they?
No, they split with Greenbrier somehow.
Vilonia did?
Van Buren did, yeah.
Who split with
I think
Vilonia?
maybe Alma.
You think it was Alma?
I think it was.
I think you're right.
Here's the 1-2 from Carnes. Strozier standing up high, and that's where he got it, up top, 2-2. McCool wasn't fooled. 4-2 Greenwood, bottom of the 7th. High drama here on the road. Looking for a sweep. Just missed. 3-2.
was a good time to do the leave early with Morgan at third, having a senior that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't have left at just a more perfect time.
And tipped, and Strozier held on to the tip foul and out number 1. Oh, baby. Huge from Strozier back there.
He's got good eyes, and it's, I don't know if he does or not, but the good ones don't blink when you see that ball tip. It's like shooting a gun. You've seen police officers be able to shoot a gun without blinking, and you or I shoot a gun, we're blinking. And catchers are the same way. Strozier does a great job back there.
Well, here's Jack Vines. We hadn't got him out yet at the plate. He walked, scored a run in the first. He was hit by a pitch and then walked in the 5th. And the first one is a ball to him here in the 7th. Vines is their center fielder, plays a great center field out there. He got doubled up after he was hit by a pitch. He was in that double play. There's one laced into the Greenwood dugout. Caromed back to Saki at third. Strike 1. 1-1. And Blue's going to let Carnes have that ball. Thought he might want to see it, look for a scuff.
Oh, yeah, he's going to now. Carnes like, no, it's fine. This ball's fine.
Vaseline ball just outside.
Bardol.
1-1 the count to Jack Vines. Rub a little jalapeno on your nose in there. Here it comes to their center fielder, and Carnes brings it. That's upstairs, 2-1. Kind of a gut check here for Carnes. I haven't really seen him pitch a lot. I'm kind of interested to see how the freshman handles this situation. This is really huge. And that's on the 5th. Saki gobbles at third. He takes his time across the diamond. Got him. Nice play. 5-3 on the putout. And there's 2 down, and it's up to Jake Fawcett. Well done from Saki to compose over there. Let the ball just roll up in the glove and fling it across. Holt's been good over at first base.
Give him his thumbs back. That was off the skinniest part of the bat.
So here's Fawcett. Now this guy singled in the first. He grounded into a double play and struck out. And he did face Carnes in the 5th, I believe, when Grant came in the bottom of the 5th. Here it is. It's upstairs, ball 1. Greenwood up 4-2. Want to come get this guy right here and end it. Don't get Justice up there because he hit the dinger earlier and he's got a single and 2 RBI. That one's fouled in the netting. You want to get this guy right here, 1-1 now.
His fastball has life on it today, and they just can't catch up with it.
Yep.
He was on the inside fastball, but he couldn't get his bat head there because he's too much. Carnes is overpowering him.
1-1 the count. Dogs 2 strikes away from a sweep. That's in there for a called strike. I mean, right down Broadway. Son of a gun.
I mean, you take Jay right out of the equation, and all the pitchers you've used today are sophomores and freshmen.
Yep. 1 strike away from a sweep. A huge, a necessary sweep for these Bulldogs to get back to 3-3 in conference. Here's Carnes. She got able to swing and a miss on some high heat, and the Bulldogs go on the road and get a pivotal 5A West sweep here in Vilonia, 4-2. They win in game number 2. Wow, what a ball game! And Carnes was magical on the bump, closing it out, and also spectacular. A 4-for-4 night, 1 tarp away from hitting for the cycle, and he had a solo jack and 2 doubles.
He was great, and you need a dude like that, every game, and then you sprinkle in a few other dudes to do their job. Carnes was he was magnificent tonight, and he's got a big future ahead of him, especially here at Greenwood.
Well, Skaggs was 2 for 3 in this game too. He had an RBI as well. Holt had an RBI sac fly. Looking down through here, there's a single for Adams. Just a great night overall, and I've had to have the sweep here, Keith, on the road. Had to.
It was huge, and we've talked about that. We put yourself behind the 8 ball with Van Buren.
Yep.
You come out in the first 2 innings, wasn't looking great for Greenwood, but we shook off the cobwebs, and we got the job done, and now that's what we need, especially going into Siloam Springs. That should be another one that I think you play Siloam at home.
Yes.
That should be another one you sweep. That should be one that you don't look to split that one. You sweep at home, and then – destiny is yours. You got Mountain Home, Greenbrier, and Alma.
Yes. Well, we'll call it a night here from Vilonia, where the Bulldogs come down and get a pivotal sweep of the Eagles on the road and move to 3-3 in conference. And I don't know what our overall record is. I really don't care, to be honest with you.
6-10, I believe.
6-10 now overall. So that's always room to improve that overall record. But conference is really what matters right now, and the Bulldogs have done what they needed to do here on the road. I want to thank Miss Jessica back at the station for making us sound so good. I want to thank Sean and Joe for bringing us the live stream here tonight. And I appreciate the Baseball Booster Club for allowing us to get on the air. A sweep tonight for the Bulldogs over Vilonia, 10-2 and 4-2. We'll call it a night here from the Eagles Nest in downtown Vilonia here on the campus of Vilonia High School. Keith, thank you.
Enjoyed
it. The kid was magical.
Thank you.
Appreciate him tonight. And a shout out to Grant Carnes, our player of the game in game 2 here, 4 for 4, one tarp away from the cycle, and came in and closed out with a nice save for the Bulldogs on the mound. I'm Tim Terry. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We'll talk to you on the radio side in 2 weeks at Mountain Home. Next week we'll have a stream for you at home against Siloam Springs, and same spot you're at right now. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks to all of our sponsors down the line, in particular Pradco and Taco Bell. We'll call it a night here from Vilonia. Greenwood sweeps the Eagles 10-2 and 4-2. I'm Tim Terry saying so long on Greenwood Sports Center on YouTube. And good night to the River Valley, your home for local sports. Right here, Fox Sports Radio, the Sports Hog 103.5.